So,
I was not ready for that.
you weren't ready for it?
I was taking a drink.
Oh,
I was
you're always
taking
taking
a
a drink.
So funny.
Yes.
So,
But true.
I don't know how this works. Hello, everybody. There's nobody on yet. Okay, it's saying on my phone that Coffee, Cancer, and Cocktails is live now. We're trying something new, people. We're trying to Facebook Live through the portal. So, I don't know how it looks. Hey, Christy. I don't know if it looks any better, any not better.
It's supposed to follow us, isn't it? So if I got up and walked away, it would do.
Yeah, see?
It's kind of going blah, blah.
It's like a fisheye. Get a beer, Ben. Get a beer. It's over you a little bit. Jessa. Okay, Jess. Does it sound any different than when we do it on the phone? Hi, Dan. Linda Blair, our neighbor. Yeah, I can't tell. I think that when we video conference on the portal, it is nice and clear, way better than FaceTiming. So we thought we'd try this. Okay.
The audio.
Yeah, we both fit in the screen. Bonus. You're not trying to elbow me out of the way.
I think that's definitely not the way it works.
Oh, look at what Bobby said. Nice, short, slick.
Thanks.
Hi, Colleen. Lisa says we look fisheye. Is Lisa looking at it straight on or from an angle?
Maybe we're too close.
Are we? Is this too close? See, it's backing.
It did look like it tried to back
backing
up.
itself up automatically. It's like, get back, sister. Get back. Okay, fine. I'll back up. Then you can just see more of my dirty house. Hi, James Corbin. He called me today.
I know.
He misses me.
I think he does. Well, it's because you gave him his jerky.
Stacy! I know, I told him. No, I didn't. Oh, I made jerky today, Corbin. Sorry about it. And then Sean Grower. See you soon. Okay, so we've been very quiet lately. Yeah. But I put that picture up the other day of what were you doing? Oh, when you were mountain biking.
Yeah.
So we've been quiet, but Sean said he could see my pores. That's not good. That's not a good look. Sorry, everybody. Forgive me. And Kay is on.
The California connection. We're starting at the right time for the West Coast peeps to chime in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Ben, your brother was judging me earlier when I was like, your glass is empty. He was like, I'm in California. I was like,
so what?
What does the price of tea in China have to do with anything? I don't know. California bakers are in. Tommy Grenovich. Yeah, I think he did mean that. Actual pores. Anyway, we've been quiet, but it's been good. It's been weird. It's COVID weird. It's COVID weird. And Fitzgerald, there's another angle. Another angle from the people. Yes, Lee, I'm drinking the sauce. Because, it's, what night is it? Oh, it's Monday. There's no excuse. Tasha! We dropped off some spiritware for you today, Tasha. I hope you got it. Maybe it's in your mailbox. Beanie did it. All right. So, give us an update. How you been feeling, honey?
So,
it's been like a hot
we've
month.
had some less than perfect days. I've had a lot of kind of tiredness, if that's the right term. Mm-hmm. Fatigue. Yeah, I can't get enough sleep. So that was a little bit worrying that I couldn't wake up. And if I did wake up, I could go back to sleep in a heartbeat. Totally different than when I was on the steroids and I was buzzing all the time and couldn't sleep for anything. So it was either one extreme or the other. So that was a bit of an issue.
Having headaches.
Having headaches. Although I'll tell you, Excedrin for migraines. If you have brain cancer, try it. It is. It's like the miracle drug. Tip for any of you. You never know. We might need it. And maybe if you just have a headache in general, it probably helps.
Maybe if you just have a headache. You don't have to have brain cancer.
Maybe I have to have a hole in your head. Maybe not. Anyway,
I'll see.
So that was helping to kind of control the headaches to a degree. I was having some left side challenges with my left hand. All of these are signs that I've had in the past that usually weren't necessarily a good thing. Not the sleepiness, the tiredness wasn't really something. But the headaches weren't nearly as bad as they were before, like when I was really getting into trouble. So I was concerned, but not overly concerned. I love that everybody says I'm looking really buff. Yeah.
I don't think they're talking to me. Just kidding. Sorry. Carry on.
So, yeah. Now, you want the mic?
No.
You do?
No.
No? Okay.
You've just been talking for a really long time.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Lost my train of thought. Where was I?
You were talking about headaches.
So the headaches were bad, but not terrible. So the doctor.
You've gotten down to like what? A half a milligram?
I got down to half a milligram of steroids a day. So the dexamethasone or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
So that was way down. And he said, you could just stay at a lower dose, and then that's fine. So I got down to that, and I had some bad headaches. And
you hear the dogs upstairs and your child downstairs? Holy shit balls. Of course it. You hear that?
Is that the dog?
It's the dog running up and down the hallway.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I think probably they're more interrupted by you pointing that out than that background noise. I'm guessing. That's just a guess, though.
I think our winter vacation's calling its bail.
So at any rate, a doctor was like, why don't you pop back up to like 4 milligrams and see if that helps.
Which he was resistant to because he was like, I don't want to go back up on steroids.
Yeah, I just hate being on anything.
But I was getting to the point where every time I turned around, I could hear the little chink chink from the Excedrin bottle, and I was like, seems like you're taking an awful lot of Excedrin.
Yeah. So I tried it. It didn't mess with my sleep pattern too badly. I don't know if I.
Look at your sister, ADD loves Pam.
If I needed to have as much sleep, so that was good. I was able to wake up a little bit better, and I wasn't waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning and then at 6 o'clock in the morning and head on fire going all the time, just kind of like I could not sleep at all. So I figured that was good. Headaches were a little bit less, so I just stayed on that 4 milligrams, and that was about 2 weeks ago we started that. So we just kind of continued on that trend. Was feeling a little bit better. So going into today, I was a little bit concerned that maybe we had regrowth on the MRI, because that would have caused a swelling that would have done all these side effects that would have made a little bit of sense anyway. So she didn't have any concerns. She's like, I feel very calm about it. She's got really good intuition. Agostini, my buddy, is the other guy who's got really good vibe for it. And he was feeling pretty good. So I went in and, felt the vibes in the MRI room until they.
Oh yeah, you were trying to text me about that. I don't know what happened. I couldn't understand.
They do this. They do the, what do they call it? Anyway, it's like they put contrast in so that they can see if there's any cancer going on in your brain. It contrasts against the gray matter much better. It kind of glows.
Lights it up.
Yeah. So sometimes they do it like a normal kind of like infusion, and then sometimes they shove it in for some reason. And
like you mean the actual fluid?
The fluid.
Sometimes they ease it in, and sometimes they just.
Sometimes, what do they do? Anyway, so they have a word for it, but so they clearly did that this time, because as she said, hey, we're going to start the contrast now. I felt it spilling all over my hand. I was like, oh, that's not good. So they give you a little ball if something goes wrong. So I squeezed the ball, and she said, are you okay?
So are you getting the MRI while this is happening?
Yeah, it's all going on.
Oh my
God. That's loud. That's loud. Sorry. So
Puppy's not so little anymore.
No. Anyway, I'll just carry on.
Yeah, carry on.
So I squeezed the ball, and she's like, "Are you okay?" I said, "Yeah, I'm all right, but this thing's leaking all over my hand." She goes, "Well, we're just gonna continue." I said, "That's fine." So they continued on, and finished it up, and I was like, okay, why did it leak? She's like, well, sometimes when we shove it in like that, sometimes the, it leaks out of the sides. So at any rate, that was a little disconcerting.
Don't squeeze the ball unless you're puking.
That's what she said. She said, oh, I should have told you, you should only squeeze that ball if you're like throwing up. I'm
Not
like,
if
really?
you're like leaking fluids
Out of my hand. Out of my veins.
I mean,
I thought it was. I'm not a panicky guy, but I was like, I might as well.
I mean, got a ball.
I don't know what's going to happen. I never had to use this thing before, but I want to try it. And sure enough, she came right on. So at least they were paying attention. That was good. So that was a new experience.
Jimmy P.
And then we went down and did the infusion of the Avastin that I'm still getting every 3 weeks.
It was a long day.
It was a long day.
You were there a long time.
I was there for like 6 hours. And then as I was getting the Avastin infusion, Dr. Reed came down and he said, hey, we're going to bring the mountain to Moses. I said, it's great.
All right.
Saves me a trip upstairs. So he came in and said, I was a little worried about this one. I said, really? He said, yeah. I said, but things look pretty good. So Pam was not there yet.
I was not there because
we thought we were going to go up to go talk to the doctors up in their suite.
Because I have to sneak in. I did the same thing
She
today.
does have to sneak in.
And I'm like, what are you here to see? I'm like, Dr. Reed, well, actually, his nurse practitioner, Williams, I got to get upstairs. So they let me in. No questions.
So at any rate, he said, yeah, things look good. In fact, they look a little bit better than they did in July. So
better.
I was happy to hear that. I was like, better's good. I was like,
better is good.
Even would have been cool with me, but better was not expected.
It was not expected.
Mm-mm.
That was exciting.
Yeah.
And of course we have pictures. So
show and tell.
We'll have to see how this works on Portal. Maybe it's even better. Okay. So, oh my God, this is so exciting.
It's not as dramatic.
It's not as dramatic. So it's a little harder to like be like, woo. Okay.
Yeah, but what happened last time was just through the roof good.
But if you guys recall, remember we had the whole midline situation. The midline was feet off. And then, of course, all the swelling. And they'll remember the white stuff is tumor mass. It's the tumor mass. So this is what we're looking for.
Not around it.
No, your whole head is one big tumor mass.
Yeah.
So yeah, not this. That's not the tumor mass. Okay, can you see it okay? I think you can.
Need a pen? A pointer?
I need a pointer. Let's do a green one. Okay. So this is from July. If you can see right there, doesn't matter. July. This is the mass. See the midline right here. It's quite broad and also slightly tilted, right? So, and of course, all this dark stuff, the dark is swelling. Ooh.
No, the dark's not swelling.
This stuff is. This stuff right here. Not this. We don't really know what's missing there. I think that's a section of his brain that actually picks up after himself and maybe closes cabinet doors.
Or finds things in the fridge.
That's missing. This part where there's swelling, right? Okay, so the white stuff, tumor mass. Can you see? Yeah. Okay. So this is today. Okay. So it's
still not closing doors and finding things in the fridge.
Still, that part is missing. So
I have an excuse, right? That's an official reason.
Is it? We're gonna go with that. That's just my own theory. And then see how much better that looks. Okay, let's do it side by side. Side by side. Look at the midline difference, you guys. See how much broader that is and tilted. Not trying to give you the finger. I'll use 2 fingers. And then this one, better. See the white mass right there? Oh my God. Even though some of it leaked out of his arm, I think there was still enough in there to light it up.
The other one's contrast. That's not even contrast, I don't think.
This one?
Yeah.
The old one's not contrast?
No, I think this picture is a contrast one. I think that one's just regular.
Oh, okay. Well, look
so you'll see more
there's
glowy
very
stuff
little
on that
white on there. Very little swelling up here. Is that crazy or what? Oh my God. So then we have this.
Yeah, see the kind of the glowy stuff?
Mm-hmm.
How it's a little more defined around that.
Yeah, okay. Gotcha. All
so
right.
we did not get a chance to, normally we sit down with the doctors and Pam really understands reading these things with the doc, so she's asking all the questions. I was just sitting there getting infused with this stuff. So I was like, okay, well my expert's not here, so I'll just
Well, I went up to the room and they were like, what are you doing here? I said, well, I'm meeting John up here first thing. He's like, they said, he don't need to come up here. Dr. Rita already went down to him. I said, he has to talk to Felicia. Nope, he's done. He's good. I was like,
he's out.
All right. Okay, so this is July. Again, here, you can see a lot of swelling around the midline here. And then the white, right, the mass. And then you can see that's obviously where the resection was.
And the glowy stuff around it.
Yeah. Okay, and this is today. Not much glowy stuff. A lot less swelling around that midline. I'm trying to peek around so I can see what I'm doing. But oh my God, you guys, look. Is that beautiful or what? Look at that difference. That's insane. Insane. I'm telling you. John Brown wants to know what you think of it. You know what I really like about this portal?
What?
I can read that shit.
You can read a lot better, that's true.
Oh
much
my
better than your phone.
God. That's so much better.
So so we've been hitting it with lots of angles. This care protocol that we started, after I died was, I think, the biggest, like, if there's a game changer, that seems to be the only thing that isn't involved in what other people are doing, is something that we're doing. But I think it's, that, the Avastin, the steroids, obviously the steroids and the Avastin bought us some time. And I think they set up things so that when the drugs came in, I think the drugs, the only way that tumor is shrinking or dying is because of the treatment that's coming from the care protocol.
Yeah, because
nothing that we're doing is designed to kill. Except,
I
mean, Avastin kind of did, but they tested it and it never proved from a Western medicine side to be like FDA approved brain cancer fighting. They can't say, hey, we're giving Avastin because we're trying to fight this glio.
Right.
They can do it only for swelling.
Yeah.
So I think it's definitely helped with the swelling, and I think the diet. I think the exercise, all those things.
Years, though you've done a good job, like I said today. Yeah. Way to keep fighting and not give up. All those matter, but the difference right now is that care protocol.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so too. So I think that's something for everybody to remember. You know anybody? It's not just for brain cancer, all cancer. We're happy to refer you over because holy shit balls.
Yeah, they're pretty amazing.
It was a good teary day. Look at it. Are you going to tear up?
No.
Don't pull away from me. It was we had a little tear.
Yeah, outside.
It's in the parking lot with our masks on.
Yeah.
Anyway, I felt good about today, but I did feel good because I knew that if there was something happening, we could bump up ducks. We could go back to every 2 weeks on the fast, and I could feel like we had a little wiggle room. And whereas the last one, I didn't feel like we had any wiggle room. Yeah. So if it was going to come back, we were like,
yeah, if it was going to be worse, yeah, like that. Yeah. The last one was definitely like
we're screwed.
Yeah, well, the results from the last one were much more of a party than this one. This one is a little bit more reproof of concept, which is kind of backing up what we saw as results, huge results last time, and now even a little bit more results this time, where we kind of weren't even expecting any kind of impact on the tumor for 9 months, right?
Yeah, I mean, I watched that one video where the guy with brain cancer had been on this and he was into it like 18 months or 20 months, and he was like, I'm expecting by the end of the second year the tumor will be gone. Yeah. So it implies that it gradually eats away at it.
Yeah.
But that's what they said. Remember, they said first it's going to help the swelling and get everything calm, and then it's going to help slow, and then it's going to start attacking.
It just attacked faster than we expected, and now at least we're seeing it still. Even though I've had some side effects that haven't been comfortable and have been kind of a pain.
Not as painful as death.
Not as painful as death.
Or dying. Probably when you're dead, it's not painful.
Yeah, it's probably dirt.
That whole situation was rather painful. I mean, for me. I don't know how it was for you. You were unconscious.
Yeah.
How was it?
I don't recall.
Anyway, I was nice mom. That's what I always used to do. Rub my fingertips. Now I just rub my fingertips. It's true. So yeah, I was happy after you went mountain biking the other day and you didn't have any falls. I'm like, that's good.
Yeah. Say hi, Dunk.
Hello. So that's all we have.
And Duncan had his first live day at High Meadows
Hour and a half or
Lisa's
so.
new school.
Yep.
So Duncan's there. And he was there for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. Played Manhunt. Very excited about that.
Smelled
I want to go to a middle school to play Manhunt in the afternoon.
Okay.
All right.
Well, so what? 3 months? Did they say? Did you make your appointments when you left?
3 weeks. Another vascular visit and doctor visit.
2 months is.
They didn't say anything about next MRI.
Okay.
So the scheduling people were gone by the time I left.
Oh, it was late.
It was a late afternoon. So I'll find out.
Okay. We gotta not forget to do that. So, wait, July, August, September. So it was 2 months in between.
I think they were like 9. They said 9 weeks.
9 weeks. Okay. So into November, late November maybe.
Probably.
Mhm.
Ski season, probably right before ski season. So this is the 2-year anniversary, October 1st.
Yep.
Cancerversary.
Cancerversary.
Crazy.
I'm going to Charleston.
That's right. Hit the beach.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, that's it. I gotta go watch Queen of the South. You guys, if you're not watching Queen of the South on Netflix,
just don't have young kids around while you're watching it.
No. And really don't have a problem with blood or guts.
Or just flat out
Mexican
like murders. Just like blatant, don't give a shit about this person or anybody else.
Yeah.
Just you're dead.
So good though. Anyway, thank you for following. Thank you for the prayers. Thank you for everything. Yeah. You guys are amazing.
Read every one of those goodwill things before I went in for the MRI.
Gives good juju. Puts you in good headspace.
That's good.
I'm gonna post pictures more often. I do. I'm getting terrible about that. I really don't like to be on Facebook anymore because people are just mean.
It's brutal.
It's brutal. I try to avoid it, but I'm going to try to keep you all better informed on what's happening with him, I promise. All right? All right. Love you all.
See you guys.
He's alive.
Peace.
Bye, guys. See ya.
How do you stop it?
I have no idea. I'm going to go with the X.
X probably is a good idea.
X marks the spot. The question is, how